Archangel Michael says, "The heavens have been whispering about this rare love story that the world is not ready to understand." From the outside, it looked impossible. But something ancient, powerful, and divine connects these two souls across time. They never planned it. No one predicted this. But the day their eyes met, the universe tilted ever so slightly in their direction. The difference between them wasn't just years. It was decades of experiences, broken dreams, and healing scars. But somehow, their hearts recognized each other immediately. People watched. People whispered. But neither of them blinked, because what they felt couldn't be explained. It was something not of this world. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This is not just about age. This is about soul contracts written long before either of them arrived on this earth. This is about something meant to be. The younger one saw strength in the older one's silence. The older one found innocence and joy in the younger one's laughter. Together, they created a harmony that neither had ever known alone. There were sleepless nights at first. They questioned if society would ever accept them. But the divine was already smiling, for this love was protected. It began with a touch, followed by long talks under moonlight. And soon, even the stars bent closer to listen. Type Amen to get blessing 724. Their birthdays were far apart. One was born during a solar eclipse, the other during a gentle monsoon night. Yet both births held a spiritual marking. They were destined for each other. He carried the weight of experience. She carried the fire of dreams. Together, they balanced the scales of heaven and earth. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven watches over unions that defy ordinary timelines." He stepped in when critics got loud. He covered their connection in divine camouflage until the right time came. There were tests. One ex tried to interfere. Friends dropped away like leaves in autumn, unable to understand. But love has no age. No clock can measure the rhythm of soul-bound hearts. They kept choosing each other every single day. Type Amen to get blessing 554. On one occasion, a stranger looked at them with judgment. But instead of fear, they smiled. Because when your love is protected by the divine, no human gaze can break it. They built their secret world. A place with no calendars, no aging, no shame. Just connection, raw, vulnerable, true. One morning, she woke up in tears. Not from sadness, but gratitude. She realized she had never felt so seen. He looked at her as if he'd waited lifetimes for this. And in that gaze, she knew this wasn't new. This was a reunion, not a beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 218. The age difference taught them patience. It made them explain things deeper, slower, kinder. It made their love deliberate and devotional. He never tried to change her. She never tried to erase his past. They respected the storms that shaped each other. Her family didn't understand at first. They thought it was temporary. But months passed. Then years. And he stayed. His friends doubted her intentions. They thought she was playing a phase. But she kept showing up, holding him in the quietest moments. Type Amen to get blessing 641. Time passed, but love only grew deeper. Each wrinkle he gained, she adored. Each risk she took, he protected with wisdom. They traveled in silence sometimes, holding hands. Sometimes, no words were needed. Just presence. She wrote poems about his hands. He painted the sky with her laughter. Their love inspired others, even if those others never admitted it. Someone once mocked their age gap publicly. She didn't flinch. He just smiled, and whispered, "They weren't written in our chapter." Type Amen to get blessing 712. One night, the stars moved again. Something shifted in the sky, and their story caught the attention of angels. A blessing descended without them even asking. That night, she had a dream. A voice told her, "Stay close. This man is your assignment." And she woke with certainty, no longer afraid. Archangel Michael says, their love is a testimony that timelines can be rewritten. This union will break generational chains. It will rewrite the rules of relationships around them. They don't chase attention. They don't shout their love from rooftops. But in private, their connection roars like fire. Type Amen to get blessing 459. Years passed. He grew older, yes. But she only loved him more fiercely. She loved the way he forgot small things. She loved the way he repeated old stories. She loved the way he held her like she was a miracle. He loved her youth, but not for the reasons others assumed. He loved her hope. He loved the way she still believed in magic. When others questioned their love, she didn't explain. She just looked into his eyes and saw galaxies. Some things are beyond language. Type Amen to get blessing 117. They walked into rooms together. She radiant with youth. He calm with grace. Some gossiped. Others smiled behind tight lips. But none could deny the light that followed them. They took a photo once. Someone online tried to mock it. But instead, the post went viral for inspiring others. People began sharing their own hidden age-different stories. A quiet movement of soulmates finally felt seen. It was no longer strange. It became sacred. Type Amen to get blessing 366. They got married quietly. Just a few candles, and the sound of the wind. Even the birds seemed to sing in approval that day. No crowd. No loud music. Just a vow whispered between two souls who knew. They were walking into forever. In private, he told her something he'd never said before. He said he saw her in a dream when he was a teenager. And that's why, the moment he met her, he knew. She cried. But not from fear, not from confusion. She cried because this love was always coming for her. Type Amen to get blessing 899. Years later, when he slowed down, she still walked beside him. When his hands trembled, she steadied them. When others called it sacrifice, she called it love. He once told her, "You saved me from growing old alone." And she replied, you taught me what real love feels like." That night, the moon lingered longer than usual. Even when he could no longer walk far, he still whispered her name with strength. He held on to her hand like it was life itself. And when she kissed his forehead, the angels leaned in to watch. Archangel Michael says, "Not every love story follows a rulebook. Some love stories write new laws on heaven's scroll. This is one of those stories." Type Amen to get blessing 322. The last day of his life was silent. But not sad. He knew his mission was complete. She sat beside him until the very end. No regrets. No missed words. Everything was given. And when he took his last breath, a golden light passed over them. She felt his presence not leave, but expand. He had become something eternal. Now, every time she walks under sunlight, she feels him. In every breeze, every butterfly, every sudden warmth. Their love continues beyond time. Type Amen to get blessing 144. And one day, when her time comes, he'll be waiting at the gates, smiling as always. Because soulmates never part. They pause. This is your confirmation. If your love defies age, background, time, hold on to it. You are part of something very few ever experience. You are not crazy. You are not wrong. You are chosen. And what the world cannot understand, the heavens already celebrate. Keep walking forward. Heaven is guiding every step. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. The days grew longer without him, but her spirit never withered. Every part of her remembered him, not in sorrow, but in grace. She wore his memory like a crown of light. People assumed she would forget. But how do you forget the one who changed the definition of love? She simply carried him into every sunrise. His voice still echoed in her dreams. His advice guided her like a compass hidden in her heart. Even in his absence, he led her forward. She started writing letters to him. Not for closure, but connection. Each word was a bridge to eternity. Type Amen to get blessing 478. Sometimes, she'd sit by the window and speak to the wind. The way the leaves would dance back told her he heard. He had not gone, he had evolved. Every flower she planted bloomed brighter. Neighbors noticed, but didn't know the truth. He had become part of the soil, the sky, the breath of earth. Years passed again. Wrinkles came for her too. But none ever touched the love in her eyes. She remained untouched by time inside. Because real love pauses aging. It immortalizes the soul. Type Amen to get blessing 612. A child once asked her, "Were you ever truly in love?" She smiled and said, "Once, and forever." The child looked confused, but the angels nodded. Archangel Michael says, the kind of love they shared doesn't end with breath. It becomes energy, a pulse in the hearts of others. Their story became a shield for others afraid to love freely. People began sharing her writings. Her words turned into inspiration. Soon, her story became part of love movements around the world. She never chased fame. But love made her eternal in the hearts of those who read. Because when you love deeply, you live forever. Type Amen to get blessing 883. One night, she dreamed of a field full of golden light. He stood there, younger again, smiling with outstretched arms. She woke up crying, but peaceful. She knew he was preparing her. The time was near, but it would not be an ending. It would be the reunion of twin flames. She wore her favorite white dress that day. She smelled the air as if she could already feel heaven. And when she lay down that evening, her soul smiled. The moment her breath stilled, a wind passed through the house. Candles flickered without cause. And in that instant, they were together again. Type Amen to get blessing 909. Those who visited her home said it felt different. Warmer, lighter, as if love itself lived in those walls. Some reported hearing laughter, even in silence. The divine kept their story safe. For it was no longer just a story, it was a testimony of how age means nothing to souls who remember each other. Archangel Michael says, "Your love may not make sense to others, but it is not meant for their understanding. It is guided by realms far beyond logic. Only the heart knows how deeply it reaches. If you're in a love that others judge, breathe. Let them speak. You were not born to follow fear. You were chosen to walk boldly in love." Type Amen to get blessing 1007. They say age is just a number. But in this case, age was a lesson, not a limit. Each year between them was a step closer to heaven. He taught her patience. She reminded him of passion. They gave each other what no one else could. He never saw her youth as weakness. She never saw his age as limitation. Instead, they saw each other as mirrors of destiny. Every year that passed, they proved people wrong. They became the proof that soul recognition defies time. And heaven kept sending signs to support it. Type Amen to get blessing 812. On their anniversary, even after his passing, she lit a candle. Not out of mourning, but memory. She whispered, "Thank you," into the flame. If you are experiencing this kind of love, cherish it. Don't run because others fear what they don't understand. Your love may be their healing someday. He once said to her, "Loving you made all the years I lived before you make sense." And she replied, "Meeting you made the rest of my life worth every second." That moment sealed their eternal vow. A blessing like this doesn't happen twice. It's rare, sacred, and it must be protected. Type Amen to get blessing 636. They were not perfect. They had arguments, misunderstandings, silent days. But always, they returned to love. Their bond wasn't loud. It was steady. Like the ocean kissing the shore again and again. She once wrote, "He wasn't just my partner. He was the answer to every question my soul never spoke aloud." That line is now printed in hearts all around the world. Her story has become a lighthouse for those walking the same path. You may be reading this with tears. Because you recognize this kind of love. You know what it means to fight for it when the world doesn't see it. Type Amen to get blessing 337. Let the world talk. Let them calculate years and laugh. Because love like yours doesn't fit inside numbers. It's made of fate. Of tears. Of miracles. Of moments when time stood still. He waited his whole life for her. And she was always meant to arrive late. Because divine love never shows up early or rushed. It waits for the right moment. It enters when you're ready to break every rule. And it stays, even when time tries to pull it apart. Type Amen to get blessing 271. And if you're still waiting for this kind of love, don't lose hope. It might arrive in a form you never imagined. Perhaps older. Perhaps younger. But always, divine. Archangel Michael says, love is the language of the eternal. Age is a translation humans created. But heaven only speaks heart to heart. Do not be ashamed. Your love is not a mistake. It is a divine appointment. Hold it fiercely. Protect it with grace. And let the angels handle the rest. Type Amen to get blessing 1481. In another life, you probably loved each other too. This is not the first time your souls met. And it won't be the last. Every time you hold their hand, your past lives rejoice. Every kiss you share is a memory being reborn. This is ancient love. And now, as your journey continues, remember this. The world will never fully understand. But the heavens already approved. Love freely. Walk boldly. Because this story was written in golden ink. Type Amen to get blessing 10,000. Even now, their names are whispered in sacred places. By those who understand the rarity of soul-deep love. By those who dream of something just as eternal. After her passing, something strange happened. The flowers in her favorite garden bloomed out of season. Locals said it was impossible, but love made the impossible grow. On the night her spirit ascended, a strange light passed over the sky. No thunder, no storm. Just silence and brightness. Two souls had reunited, and even heaven paused. There are places on earth where their memory is etched in the air. A bench under a fig tree, carved initials faded by wind. A journal of letters still preserved in a drawer no one opens. You too? If yes, then you're already walking in the path they once walked. You are living proof that love has no boundaries. That the heart doesn't carry a calendar. It carries energy, connection, purpose. So go love them. Go fight for it if needed. Go hold them tight, because love like this is rare. Type Amen to get blessing 888. If you're apart from them now, don't worry. Divine timing is never late. It only waits until both souls are ready. If you've already met them, cherish every second. Speak every feeling. And never let the fear of judgment steal your joy. Because the story of big age difference and eternal love? It's not a myth. It's a miracle. And you are a part of it. May their story continue to bless the world. And may your story be even more glorious. Let heaven guide your steps now. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Their story may have reached its final earthly page, but it echoes through time like a sacred melody. Every soul that hears it feels something awaken inside. It's more than love, it's legacy. Even now, couples who walk hand in hand across parks or whisper secrets on benches, some of them walk in the light of that same bond. A love that is not bound by dates, expectations, or assumptions. A love born from the soul, not the skin. Somewhere, someone just like you is reading this. Their heart beating fast, their eyes filled with tears. Because they see their own story in these words. They too have loved someone who others never understood. They too have cried into pillows because of judgment. They too have kept a love secret, even from themselves. Type Amen to get blessing 1191. But this is the day the silence breaks. This is the moment where love doesn't hide, it rises. Because what's divine should never be ashamed. That person you're thinking about now, the one with the age gap? Yes, heaven knows. Heaven watches. And heaven is preparing something powerful between you. Perhaps you've been separated by time or doubt. Perhaps you're waiting for the right words or moment. But Archangel Michael says, the moment you trust love, love trusts you back. Heaven doesn't look at numbers. It looks at alignment. And you are already aligned. Type Amen to get blessing 2003. If you have already found this kind of love, nurture it daily. Speak with honesty. Touch with reverence. Listen with grace. You are walking on holy ground. The world may point fingers. They may count your years. But they will never understand what it means to finally be understood. If your souls connect like puzzle pieces, then trust that what you feel is not random. It's reunion, not coincidence. You came here for confirmation. You came here with secret questions locked in your chest. And the message is this: you are not wrong for loving them. Type Amen to get blessing 3497. Their hair may be silver, or yours may still be sun golden. Their back may curve, while your steps are still fast. But your hearts? They beat in rhythm, without pause. Love does not need a matching birth certificate. Love needs only recognition. And recognition is instant when the soul remembers. He may look at you and see everything he ever hoped for. She may look at you and see the warmth she never had before. That is not to be ignored. That is to be honored. So honor it. With every word you speak. With every hand you hold. With every breath you take together. Type Amen to get blessing 4411. Archangel Michael says this bond is divinely permitted. Do not compare your love story to anyone else's. Yours is carved from stars, not from sand. There are people who will go their whole lives and never know this kind of connection. But you were chosen to feel it. Even if it hurts sometimes. Even if it's hard to explain. And for that, heaven watches over you. Not with pity, but with pride. Because the divine only assigns rare love stories to brave hearts. You didn't choose the age difference. You didn't choose the pain it brings sometimes. But you chose to love anyway. Type Amen to get blessing 5909. That makes you a warrior of the heart. That makes your story sacred. That makes you worthy of protection and miracles. The person you're in love with, they may not even realize how deeply they've impacted you. But one day they will. And when they do, they'll realize their life changed the moment you entered it. Don't be afraid to tell them. Speak boldly. Speak softly. But speak. Even if your voice trembles, say it. Because truth is the only key that unlocks the heart. And your love deserves to breathe, not hide. Type Amen to get blessing 6644. If you've kept your relationship secret because of age, know this. You are not alone. But you are now being supported by angels who walk this journey with you. They will guard your path. They will silence the storms. They will build bridges where people tried to build walls. Their judgment will not destroy what heaven has approved. Their mocking will not dim your flame. You are not built to be understood by everyone, you are built to be loved truly by one. And if you haven't met them yet, keep your heart open. They may arrive wrapped in years you didn't expect. But their soul will feel like home. Type Amen to get blessing 7712. When they enter your life, you'll feel it instantly. The air will change. The way they look at you will calm storms inside your chest. And you'll think, where have you been all this time? And they'll whisper, I've been waiting for you to grow into the version of you who could love me fully. That's how divine timing works. Not early. Not late. Just, right on time. So breathe. Let go of fear. The heavens are already preparing the moment you collide. Type Amen to get blessing 9009. Love isn't about convenience. It's about alignment. And once aligned, nothing can separate what was meant to be. Theirs was a story of forever in a world of temporary. And yours can be too. If you believe, if you trust, if you dare. Close your eyes again and listen. The